Hello everyone, this is Vortex259, and it is time once again for another episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy IV Advance. Last time, Cecil, Rydia, and Edward plummeted through the depths of the Antlion cave in search of the Sand Ruby. Well, they made their way to the Antlion's nest, but when Edward tried to pick up the Sand Ruby from the Antlion's eggs, yeah, the Antlion wasn't too happy about that. He said, "Back off, buddy, that's my Sand Ruby." So it looks like we're going to have to go save Edward before the Antlion tries to eat him for lunch. Well, here we go. It's time to fight our next boss battle with the Antlion. The Antlion only has 1100 HP, and it only uses a physical attack, so this is going to be a pretty easy and straightforward boss battle. The only thing you really have to watch for is when you use a physical attack on the Antlion, it will counter with a counter horn attack, which can do a pretty decent amount of damage on Rydia and especially on Edward, who probably still only has double-digit HP at this point, unless you really took the time to level him up. This is really about the only time I'll use the heal ability. Instead of having Edward attack, I'll just have him focus on healing. Now, if we use the heal ability, that will take a potion from our inventory and distribute it amongst all three of our party members. You can see that's not too terribly effective, but it's better than nothing. Now, what's really going to be the best strategy to use in this boss battle is having Rydia use her Chocobo summon. That's going to do a lot of damage. Let's see how much damage the Chocobo kick does. 150, so not too shabby at all. So yeah, the best part about that too is the Antlion won't counterattack when Rydia uses her Chocobo summon. Looks like everybody's HP is in pretty decent working order, so let's go ahead and have Edward attack, I guess. His physical attack's not all that impressive, but hey, 55 points of damage, that's better than I thought it would be. So let's just keep relying on the Chocobo summon. Probably after 3 or 4 rounds with the Chocobo kick, you'll find that Antlion will soon be defeated. Wow, 235 points of damage. Let's use a potion on Rydia there, get her cured up. I figured the Antlion's physical attack would do more than 4 points of damage on Edward down there. So you can tell that Antlion's not very strong at all if he's only doing 4 points of damage to a spoony bard. Okay, I think after Rydia uses her Chocobo summon this round, that should terminate the battle. Go Rydia. Yep, that does it for us. 160 points of damage was enough to defeat the Antlion, and we get 800 gil and 500 experience points for that battle. And Cecil gains a level. I believe that will take him up to level 16. And Edward gains a level. I think that takes him up to level 8. So we obtain the Sand Ruby by defeating the vicious Antlion. Edward says, "How could this happen? They've always been totally harmless." Cecil says, "Monsters are rapidly multiplying these days, and their behavior is changing as well. I can't help but feel this is some kind of sign." Yep, not only are monsters multiplying, but they're becoming more aggressive. Something's going on there. But Rydia says, "Come on, let's go cure Rosa." Cecil says, "Right, let's go." Alright, it is time to go cure Rosa of her desert fever with our newly acquired Sand Ruby. But before we do, let's take just a moment here to check our new entry in the bestiary. We just defeated the Antlion, and its entry can be found right below the Octomammoth at number 194. Does not drop any treasure. Has no weaknesses. Tons of resistance though. But it was a pretty easy boss fight. Now, instead of having to walk all the way out, what I'm going to do is actually use an item that we picked up out of a treasure chest here in the Antlion Cave called the Emergency Exits. It will allow you to escape instantly from a dungeon. Now, if you want to walk out, feel free to do so. You'll get extra experience points that way, but I think I'm just going to take the easy way out, so to speak. I'll just use that emergency exit and warp out to the entrance of the cave, and there's our hovercraft waiting for us. So what do you say we go save Rosa? She's been pretty ill for a while now, so let's just use our handy dandy hovercraft to cross the shallows here and go back through the Damsian deserts, and we'll continue heading west until we find more shallows. We can use these shallows to cross back to the south over toward the Kaipo Desert region. Pretty nice to not have to go through the network of caves to get back to Kaipo. We can just take the easy ride here. There we go. There's Kaipo right there. I'm going to take just a moment here to save my game. Let me take care of that real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, let's go save Rosa's life. Let's go back into the village of Kaipo. Now, Rosa is located in the house on the northeastern side of town. This house right here. So let's just barge on inside without knocking. Now the little old lady says the same thing she did the last time we spoke with her. But at least Rosa's still alive. But man, she's been laying in that bed for a while now. Hang in there, Rosa, we're coming. Alright, let's waste no more time. Let's use the sand ruby on Rosa. Now we're actually given the option to pick an item from our menu, so let's just scroll down and pick the sand ruby and hold it up over Rosa's head. Rosa is exposed to the light of the sand ruby. And it works. Rosa awakens and says, "Oh." And she looks around and sees a couple of strangers. Ah, but there's someone she recognizes. Rosa says, "Cecil, you're alive, thank goodness." "Likewise, Rosa." Cecil says, "How do you feel?" I'm sure Rosa feels like she's been laying in bed for a week. But Rosa says, "I'm fine, but I thought I'd lost you. They told me you died in mist when the earthquake hit." Oh, I guess Rosa came running after Cecil after she heard he had died in mist. That's why she got desert fever. Cecil says, "I'm sorry to have put you through that." "Rosa, who is Golbez?" Rosa says, "He's the new captain of the Red Wings, appointed by the king himself. But the king has been acting strangely. I believe Golbez is manipulating him to collect the crystals for himself. With Mysidia's water crystal in hand, he'll surely go after the others, which are the fire crystal of Damsian, the wind crystal of Fabul, and the earth crystal of Troya." But Edward looks down and says the fire crystal has already fallen into his hands. Cecil says, "Ah, let me introduce you. Edward is the Prince of Damsian. He's quite spoony. And Rydia is a summoner from Mist. I wouldn't have been able to get the sand ruby and cure your fever without their help." Rydia says, "Hi there." Rosa says, "Hello, Rydia. Thank you both so much. Cecil, after Damsian, Fabul must be their next target. We must..." Yep, she's still pretty sick. Not quite 100% yet. Cecil says, "You have to rest now. Don't worry, we'll go to Fabul." Edward says, "But to reach Fabul, we must traverse Mount Hobbs, and the trail is blocked by thick ice." "Oh no! How are we going to melt that ice?" Ah, Rosa's going to offer a solution. She says, "Rydia, can you cast fire?" Rydia says, "No." Rosa says, "Fire is the most elementary of black magic spells. As a summoner, you..." Cecil says, "Rosa, stop. You're not coming with us in that condition." Rosa says, "I'll be alright, really. As a white mage, I promise I won't be a burden." Edward says, "Rosa only wishes to be with you, Cecil." Cecil says, "Alright, we'll go together. Make sure you get plenty of rest tonight." Rosa says, "I thank you." So the white mage Rosa has joined our party, and she's going to be another very useful ally. But she's going to need to get some rest before we can hit the road. But that night, hey, what's Edward doing sneaking out of the house? Has he got to go relieve himself? Just what are you up to, Edward? Oh, he's decided to play his harp a little bit. Guess he needed some time to be alone. Edward says, Anna, I miss you so much. Uh-oh, what's going on here? A monster? Oh no! What's he going to do? How will he survive? Well, we'll find out in our next episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy IV Advance. Thank you for watching today, everyone. We'll see you again next time.